You're listening to Short Inspirations from Ralph. Born for Greatness, Part 2. It's a wonderful thing to be great, to have the esteem and respect of your fellow man or woman. And really, when you look at it, when a person gets to that point where people are watching them, they may be politicians or they may be great sports people, but when they get to that point where people take notice of them, then parallel to that, their influence increases. They're on a pedestal, people are watching them, what they do, what they eat for breakfast, their relationships, the things they say on Twitter or Facebook or whatever. They become leaders. People follow them, for good or for bad. Bill O'Reilly said this: one of the downsides of being famous is that folks pay far more attention to you than they should. American celebrities are constantly under surveillance, and every word they say is subject to scrutiny. So, be careful what you wish for if you desire fame. No human being should be a goldfish. And so with greatness comes responsibility. But there are very big questions that we raised, particularly in the last episode on greatness. We said things like, who gets the glory for a person's greatness? And it's like when a person is great, but does not acknowledge God and takes all the accolades for themselves, then they have their reward. But I don't know about you. I would rather be great in eternity, in the kingdom. I would rather hear the words, well done, good and faithful servant, enter into the joy of the Lord. So it is possible to be great here on earth, but also to be great in the kingdom. And I think of the late Queen Elizabeth II, and how she was an avid follower of Jesus Christ, and it came through everywhere, and she had great power to influence many people. God bless her. Another question, which is very important, is if need be, would a person who is great be willing to lay that down for the sake of the kingdom, for the sake of their Creator? That's a great question, and that would be harder to do than you could imagine. And so another question is, where does greatness come from? Well, being from a great family or great house does not automatically make you a great person. It's one thing to have great parents, but that doesn't make you great. It's one thing to work for a great company or corporation, but that still doesn't make you great. Being in a house of greatness, as we said, or a church of greatness is a wonderful thing. Wearing the company shirt or t-shirt or driving their car doesn't make you, though, a great person. We live in a world of people trying to equalise everything, but they don't do a very good job. They muck it up most of the time. And some people would say we shouldn't look at people on levels of greatness. But really, when you look at it, Jesus did. He said some people are great and some are not. But the scripture also clearly creates a pathway to becoming great. Jesus says in Matthew 11:11, truly I tell you, among those born of woman, there has not risen anyone greater than John the Baptist. Yet whoever is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. Wow, it's astounding. He's saying that our greatness can exceed that of John the Baptist. And here we have the first hint about becoming great. It's not found in elbowing everyone out of the way and trying to make your way to the top. It's found in being the least in the kingdom. In other words, we lay things down, we let God be God in our lives, and He will promote, He will make great in His time. In Matthew 18:1-3, it says, at that hour the disciples came to Jesus saying, who is the greater in the kingdom of heaven? So this is incredibly important to them and on their mind constantly. Then Jesus called a little child to him and set him in their midst. And he said, "Truly I say to you, unless you are converted and become as little children, you shall not enter the kingdom of heaven." And so it's a turning away from something and turning to God. It's change, that's what conversion means, or renewal of our minds. It's turning to God who has called you to be who you are, a vessel of honour, called to greatness. God bless you.